Hey, we're leaving, Thomas.
You're listening to The Funny Thing Is with Brighton and Annika.
The show that starts with a question, ends with a song, and has a heck of a lot of conversation in between.
This episode of The Funny Thing Is podcast is brought to you by Local Laundry. Local Laundry is an apparel company that aims to build community in everything they do by representing where you come from, sharing stories from the community, collaborating with others, and they donate 10% of their profits to local charities each and every month. These guys are amazing. They make some of the comfiest gear around. We love wearing their stuff. It's so warm, so fuzzy, so comfortable. Everything from crew neck sweaters to hoodies, t-shirts, and snapback hats. And they really take pride in building community, working with other community builders to showcase those wanting to make a positive impact in so many ways. You can actually check them out on locallaundry.ca or on Instagram at locallaundry. And we have a very special offer for you guys from them. They're so generous. They have given us and our listeners a discount code, which is funny15, and you get 15% off the entire store, actually, which is amazing. So use discount code FUNNY15 for 15% off the Local Laundry store at www.locallaundry.ca. Hello!
We're back with The Funny Thing Is, it's Annika and Brighton.
And me.
And it is a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day.
Now today, for our question, I want to hear a bit about some teachers that you had growing up, or
Okay.
what teachers have influenced your life, and
I do have a really crazy
I was going to say,
teacher
or maybe
story.
some of the good, crazy teacher stories, because
Okay.
my sister's a teacher, and hearing from things from her side, like on that side of things.
Man.
I remember when you were a kid and you didn't think your teacher had like a life outside of school.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the fact that they were like, oh, they have a boyfriend.
Yeah,
Or like,
I have a couple friends that are teachers now, and it's like crazy
It's
to
so
think
weird.
the inverse of some of the like crazy kid stories and like,
Yes.
the families of those kids. It's crazy.
Like, I hope I wasn't a kid where the teacher goes home and is like telling her friends about how crazy I was. So, yeah, I like off the bat, I had my very favorite all-time teacher was my 4th and 5th grade teacher, and her name was Miss Mantler. And it's funny because we're Facebook friends now. She comes
Yeah.
to Leaving Thomas shows, and she got married, so her name is
I've
different.
I've met her.
And
too.
also, it's like
She's nice.
Carla. I'm like, I cannot
I know.
call you Carla. You will always be, not even like Mrs. whatever your actual name has been for the past like 15 years. You will always be Miss Mantler to me.
Yeah.
And one of the things I remember about class with her was we always started off in the morning. She always just wore great outfits. Like, she was a young, blonde, like really pretty teacher. And that was when Survivor was really big.
Okay.
And I remember it was the second season when Tina won and Colby was like the second place person. And I think like it must have been that everyone in our class like watched it because we would talk about it like the day after the episode. And I remember that, and weirdly I also remember listening to Enya in that. I don't know. That song, I always think of
Yeah.
sitting on the carpet listening to it. I
That's
don't know if
so
we listened to it
funny.
a lot or what, but she was so great. And she also was one of those teachers that I would still go visit when I was in junior high, and I'd like stop by at the elementary school, now that I was a cool grade 7, oh,
Yeah.
I guess I can stop by and say hi. And then the beauty of Facebook is that
Yeah.
we all get to be in touch.
Absolutely.
She is amazing. And I'm always like, if I was a teacher, I would want to be her.
Yeah. No, I have so many amazing teachers. Like, even so, my kindergarten teacher, Miss O. She.
Oh, we've met her.
I know.
Yes.
That's where I'm getting to.
Yeah.
Is she was so amazing. And what was funny is like my mom and really close family friends, we all like went to school together and carpooled and stuff. And we
Right.
would actually have like teacher lunches. I believe it was like once a month. Like, it was crazy. So my mom and our family friends' moms as well would host lunches. And so we did like on Valentine's Day, we did like heart-shaped waffles for
Oh my
lunch. And like,
goodness.
I think in May.
And the students would go, like you would go.
Yeah, we
to-
would go
okay.
home, and our teachers would be there, and we would have lunch
and you're
with
like,
them,
moms
and then
would make the lunch.
yeah, it was
Oh.
sort of weird, but also like amazing.
No, that's really cute.
It's
not like you're like an 8th grade girl being like, I'm going to invite my English teacher
Yeah.
over for lunch.
Yeah.
I'm going to
But
make
even
him
when
a
we
sandwich.
weren't in their classes anymore, like we would still have Miss O come
Which is
to
great.
lunch and stuff. So Miss O was amazing because I ran into her last summer at the Stampede, and it was our first summer of playing festivals, and our first festival was Big Valley Jamboree, and we ran into her. We're just catching up and talking and talking about how we were trying to figure out how we were going to camp at Big Valley Jamboree,
Right.
because we were like the second last performance of that day, and we were going to camp there, wake up, and drive home. And nobody had like a tent or a trailer that we could borrow. And she went, "Oh, well, I have a trailer you can borrow." And we were going, "What?" Like, so
great.
kindergarten teacher that I haven't seen her for years, and still she goes, you can take.
And you know what? That's a testament not only to you but your mother, because parents.
Yeah.
I'm learning again with friends that are teachers. My sister's a teacher. There are some really, and even teachers will say to my mom now, like, "Oh, you were such a great parent," because I mean, it's like when you get to high school, teachers aren't dealing with parents.
Yeah.
But you have to deal so much with the parents when the kids are young that I can totally see like teachers bonding with parents and being like, we could be friends,
Yeah. So she was great. I have so many in elementary school too, and then I think I had like 3 or 4 in junior high that were amazing.
Yeah.
Mr. Portelli and Ms. DeMera and Ms. Lloyd were like my 3 go-to. It was my math teacher, who was also like the director of all the school musicals.
I was gonna say,
And then-
someone that.
Yeah,
I feel like junior high is a phase where you really start having people encourage certain passions that you
Yeah.
have to be like, I see this in you, like you should do this.
absolutely. And then Ms. DeMera, who also helped with the plays, and she drama teacher, awesome.
Right.
And then Ms. Lloyd was our gym teacher, and like gym was my favorite class, and she was just awesome, and she would razz me all the time, which was fun. But this is like a crazy story is Mr. Portelli, and he apparently, I found out later that I'm like one of 2 students that he has on Facebook. So again,
Right.
you're following
you're
them
close when
around,
you're like,
yeah,
we're tight.
following him like around the world because he's a jet setter and like goes to Italy all the time, and still does like musical theater, which is really cool to like see him doing what he loves to. But so my buddy Cam has become a teacher, and he got his first full-time teaching job this past year, and he actually took over from another teacher. And so he's been telling me all these stories about all these kids, and his last name's Rokosh, and one of the kids is like started calling him Mr. Brokosh because they think he's so cool. And then we started having this exact same conversation that we're having right now with my buddy Cam, and we brought up Mr. Portelli because he was just like such an amazing, inspirational guy, and just a really good teacher. And then my buddy goes like, Carmen Portelli? And I was like, yes.
Oh my gosh.
He took over his class,
Oh my
and Carmen
gosh.
is now Cam's mentor.
That is so cool.
Like, isn't that so cool?
Yes.
And it's just like, every time I see Cam, I was like, how's Mr. Portelli? And he's like,
Yeah.
oh, he's so good. Like, it's
That is
crazy.
really cool.
Like, really cool.
I
So,
love seeing, it's also fun, I think, for teachers to be able to see you as an adult, or like,
yeah.
my Mrs. D was another teacher. I had her for 6 years because she taught at my junior high and my high school, and she taught dance. And so, like, I mean, I was doing dance, choir, drama, everything when I was in high school, and she also taught all 5 of the Odegaard kids. So, like, she
Wow.
definitely got a lot of time with the Odegaards.
Yeah.
But it's also exciting for them to see, like, when you're getting married, and like for them, it's like they saw you as a kid, and it's weird thinking of Kristen when her kids are going to be like 25. Like, to, and I've volunteered in Kristen's class many times. She's taught the same students for like 6 years because it's at a small school. And so even like a lot of them are graduating from grade 9 this year. And I'm like emotional about it because I'm like, I've known you guys since you were in 5th grade. And so it's going to be cool, like with Facebook and all that stuff, that you can see them when they're like 25. And, you know, it's interesting seeing Mrs. D will always be like, I knew you were going to be, you know, you were born to be on stage and all this stuff. And I think teachers have they can have a huge impact.
Absolutely.
And I think though you can also have a huge impact on teachers. Like teachers definitely have favorites.
Yeah.
Teachers definitely have people that they're like, you know, I mean, I was definitely a favorite of Miss Mantler, like guaranteed. No, but I mean like just certain students that you connect with more that you'll keep in touch with.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah. No, it's crazy. Do you have a crazy teacher story?
well, Mrs. D was a bit crazy, but she owns it. She also she liked to be called Mama D. She was like, well, for the dance girls.
Oh,
like, it's like, okay, like Mama D is going to take care of us. But she would have like some explosive moments. Like if you put her over the edge, she was done. And I remember what she was infamously known for was I wasn't in this class, but everyone knew this. She like stormed out of the room and slammed the door so much that those heavy wooden doors, it broke. And it was like, oh, okay. Wow. And I also like my thing of her was she's also Serbian. Like her like she was born, I believe, in Canada, but like her mom is Serbian, and I just remember her getting phone calls and like speaking in Serbian. And it was like, whoa, like anyone speaking in Serbian, like, whoa, it's scary. Like, I'm like, she probably was like, can you pick this up for dinner and blah, blah, blah. But it was like, whoa.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my best friends growing up was Serbian. He just taught me all the bad
The
words.
language can be like quite scary.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about you? Any crazy teacher
I have
stories?
like two. One is like kind of playful crazy. She was our Spanish teacher.
Okay.
And so we had Spanish class, but she was also the school's dance teacher. And so she gave us an ultimatum of either we participate in the dance show for the year and do like a Spanish, like Follow the Leader. I don't know if you've ever heard that song.
No.
Anyways, I have nightmares of it.
Okay.
But it's just it's pretty much like an extended, more elaborate version of the Macarena.
Okay.
Okay. And so it was either that or we had to do a massive like project. And so we were like, okay, obviously we're going to do the dance. So they put us in the back row, me and my buddy, and we were like making fun of the dance and like just, messing around. And then she was like, oh, that's so hilarious. You guys should be at the front.
Oh, and then you had to
put us at the front. Yeah. The other crazy story was she was actually very crazy. I believe she was bipolar.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And I had her for English. We did not learn anything in English. We did not get a single grade until probably 3 weeks before like finals. And it was like a provincials year.
Oh gosh.
And didn't learn anything. And then we had another teacher come in for the last 3 weeks, teach us everything we needed to know for the provincial in the last 3 weeks. But like the principal pulled me into his office and went like, what is actually going on in that classroom? Next day she wasn't there.
Wow.
And then I guess she came back
like that.
a year later, and it was just crazy. So
well, teachers can be amazing.
They can be.
But there's other stuff going on in their life.
Yeah.
And you know what? We are just thankful that we've had great teachers. So
Seriously.
This is our ode to teachers everywhere. You work so hard.
Thank you, teachers.
And you've had a huge impact on our lives.
Yes, you have. So thank you for that.
What is our song for the day?
My song today is Always by Gavin James.
Always.
Gavin James.
It's
a new song. It's a new tune. Piano ballad. I think you'd like it.
Oh, I'm going to check it out. My song of the day is going to be something springy because it's so nice outside. I'm walking on sunshine. Oh. Was that on or off?
Don't
I can't
think so.
hear. The headphones are on. But go out, enjoy the day today. Say thank you to a teacher if you are in school or you know one and love one. We love our teachers. And also, side note, I realized that I never want to be a teacher because I tried it for like a day in Kristen's classroom and was like, I'm terrible. It's a lot harder than it
Seriously,
looks.
that is going to be another episode of this show is like crazy student stories from our teacher friends.
Stay tuned for that one, guys. We'll see you next time on The Funny Thing Is.
See ya.